Ooh, let's go indeed. That took some time, but we got it. The record at the moment is 5-0 in favor of Happy. But who defeats Hitman 6 times in a row? Can you name someone? I can't.
Not one person.
See? That's exactly what I'm saying here. The maps that we're gonna get, or the first map that we're gonna get is Tidehunters, and the caster duo that you're gonna get is Remo and Quberte.
This is pretty epic. This could be a great series, ladies and gentlemen. Happy certainly is not gonna stumble here. He's gonna play a good game as he always does. Rarely ever will we see Happy in bad shape. The big question mark is Hitman. At what time is it in California right now? Like 6 a.m. or something?
6:21.
6:21. Is he up to the task? He's going to pick the Blade Master. He's going to rely on the late game. And he wants to drag this all the way out until he has the strong late game heroes. The Orc tri-hero combo of Blade, Shadow, TC can be very potent and at times seemingly almost unbeatable for the Undead if you do get the levels and if you do get the items. I feel like Happy, this whole series, will try to prioritize finishing the game as early as he can and not allow the Orc to go super late game.
I completely agree there, Remo. Undead, a race which of course does have pretty nice scaling with their heroes, the DK, the Lich, the Dark Ranger. All a nice synergy working well together, and of course the Undead Nuke, which is greatly feared. But Orcs, when they opt for the Blade Master first, they secure probably one of the strongest late games we have. And of course Orc with high level heroes, particularly the TC as well, able to stomp the Undead army and prevent the Undead from dealing as much DPS as possible. You have insane hero focus potential. And I think, Remo, you're right. Happy here will probably be looking to do some sort of push that secures him a big advantage and perhaps able to close out the game.
And we see what I was talking about earlier, the Acolyte Scout figuring out where the Orc will be creeping. Happy can make adjustments. Is he going to go for the shop right away? Is he going to go for the circle right away and get that level 2? If you get full shop experience, that is enough for level 2. I feel like on this map it's a bit dangerous though, because it's always easy to reach the shop from any angle. So the Blade might arrive in time to harass. We'll see.
Yeah, I love what Happy's doing here, actually, going for the shop first. He can secure that circlet purchase, which we know he loves to prioritize good items on his hero from the marketplace and the shop. The giant sea turtles here offering a huge amount of experience being level 4 creeps and pretty easy to take down with the ghouls and the skellies. And of course that Acolyte Scout confirming the position of the Blade. I think Happy doing this creep camp with basically no fear. He knows that there's no chance the Blade could be there to intercept. Hitman, of course, having to take down that first orange camp is a pretty tough one with the Sea Giant, needing to heal up afterward, and Happy with the time to easily secure the shop. Going to double back now towards his own giant sea turtle camp. It looks to be on a good way to level 3 already.
Bad items for the Blade Master, Ring, and Gauntlets. Would be very good late for the TC late game, but not very likely he's going to be able to hold on to those for a long time. Of course, inventory space is valuable. I gotta say, don't like the opening creep out so much by Hitman. I feel like nowadays you gotta prioritize way more those shop creeps, those circlets, and put some pressure on the Death Knight. But Hitman is playing a very... No way. Did he get it?
No. Surely not, right?
No, he got it with a skelly. Yeah, he got it. Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god.
That is absolutely ridiculous. This is the Happy Classic, an absolute monster with the Acolyte and Skeleton Steals. That gives the DK level 3 already, Remo. And now the Blade here about to get creep jacked by level 3 DK. This is unbelievable by Happy now securing that lead. I think we're going to see it. Yep, a dead grunt pretty much immediately. Happy, I'm sure, willing to invest a second coil here. Hitman being forced to use his Speed Scroll and Heal Salve. Second coil coming in now and securing that kill for Happy. Hitman, how do you finish the creep now? The ghouls coming in as well. This is just a living nightmare for Happy.
Don't get surrounded. Don't get surrounded, please.
This grunt. Oh, it's pretty tricky to surround grunts though in that position here. Not too many ghouls to work with does Happy have. But yeah, Hitman here. Nowhere near level 3. And this DK is going to be absolutely oppressive in this early game.
Rough start for Hitman. Yesterday in the games against Soin, he started off strong, normally always, but then sometimes let it slip later. coil timing is picture perfect. And the blade is stuck out on the map, stranded in the middle, without salves, without clarity. This doesn't feel good, and that's a rough start for Hitman.
Under attack.
Yeah, that coil timing just absolutely impeccable there on the go. And Hitman, what can you do now? He has pretty much no hope to take any decent camps out on the map. Going to be forced to take the green next to his base, which provides, you know, a paltry amount of experience compared to another camp on the map, but he has very little options. Happy probably just going to be sharking around here, I think, to look for the blade, but should be aware of where Hitman is going to go. But actually, Hitman moving all the way across potentially to the green just under Happy's base, which is a really interesting play. Okay, going to go for the middle camp here, which I think is a fair choice. But Happy, I think, pretty happy with that, as his name implies, getting the snare caster here. And now we have a 13.2 armor DK, Remo.
Yeah. Exceptional early game by Happy. Hitman really has to hope that he doesn't get found. He needs to catch up in experience fast, and the Shadowhunter is very level reliant. You want to get him to level 3 as quickly as you can, save for the blade, and ideally quickly get to level 4 Blade Master for the level 2 crit. And later on, we're going to be seeing third heroes as well. I mentioned the Dark Ranger earlier already. That is the most likely choice that we almost always see. I still feel like, actually, the Dreadlord is underplayed in this matchup. Normally one of the weakest heroes, but I feel like here he has some potential. Oh! Coil gets the kill, and that was a big mistake by Hitman. He had a large window there to use the Hex, but he didn't do it. Now he does. Has to pop the speed scroll, try to boost and run and save those grunts. Not afford to lose another grunt.
Yeah, Hitman here, unfortunately, with the very big mistake not hexing the DK, had ample time to use that Hex. And yeah, losing the level 3 creep here, losing 2 level 3 creeps in total this game, proving to be incredibly detrimental. That would be a level 3 Blade Master already if the Ogre Magi had gone to him, and probably didn't need to share the experience with the Shadow, and now both heroes struggling to reach level 3 and level 2 respectively. I think Happy can be happy to just... need to stop saying Happy can be happy. But he will be pleased to head on back and just continue to farm up nice items. This Lich looking stacked already, Remo.
Every time he gets
Every
this.
game.
To be fair though, he purchased 2 of them. 2 circlets bought. That is pretty expensive, but it's a long-term investment. Finally, good item for Hitman as well. He gets the Scourge Bone Chimes, which is going to be especially helpful on the blade. I feel like sometimes it's a bit overrated in this matchup, though. Like, the healing, realistically, you get on Grunts and Raiders is going to be so minimal, so it's only really good for the blade. But if you should get to level 5 and ultra late game, this will certainly be good.
Yeah, we can see the blade healing roughly maybe 6 or 7 HP per strike here. Without a crit, it's pretty decent, and of course a level 5 crit would offer a lot of healing. The Raiders dealing very little damage, of course, to most units and grunts as well. Nothing to write home about in particular. I definitely agree it's quite overrated, but still a decent item nevertheless. Happy here, moving out into the field. We have Orb of Corruption on the DK, surely going to be passed to the Lich very soon. And yep, Happy not with too many resources at his disposal, getting the Ghoul Frenzy and the Destroyer form upgrade right now. The Ghoul is waiting at the middle to buy what it will almost certainly be the Dark Ranger. Yeah, Hitman, I don't think he can make too much of a good harass here with very little mana to work with. This would be an incredibly risky steal, and he's going to go for it and get the Mana Stone for his troubles, though. Pretty nice moves here by Hitman, actually.
Quick fingers. We are playing on a ping equalizer, so this is fair. And that's a huge item, dude. Mana Stone. That's a gigantic swing. And the Shadowhunter got the level 3 before the first big fight. Hitman is recovering, and the lead is no longer so big, if it's even there at all.
One thing I would say is that Hitman's army is a bit bruised right now, and to be honest, 3 grunts and a Kodo is all he has to his name right now, and Happy here with so many Frenzy Ghouls. We know they're absolute glass cannons in this matchup, and the fight is going to take place right now, actually. The TC and Blade Master getting silenced, so we're going to see the Blade Master dying here super early. Oh, manages to get away the silence, of course. Wearing off on him right now, the Shadowhunter not affected by that silence, going to heal back the blade. But there's hardly any defensive items. We don't have a single heal potion, heal scroll, or invo on the side of the Orc here, which I feel are pretty essential given how much firepower Happy has at his disposal.
Interestingly, Hitman is skipping Raiders altogether. Doesn't value the ensnare, and of course in a straight up dogfight between Raiders and Ghouls, the Raiders don't fare well, so it's just Grunts and Kodos for now, not even Berserkers. More Kodos, triple Kodo. We've kind of seen this from Lin in the past.
Yeah, I remember that game on, I think it was LR, wasn't it, Remo? We saw Happy trying to push, or it might be 120, pushing Lin on LR, and Lin responding with multiple Kodos, defending that push pretty easily. But Happy, not going to fall for that. He's just going to creep up, continue to get levels. Also secured his own level 7 turtle earlier to get the greater mana potion, an amazing drop for him. And now, what will he get at the second camp here? Level 2 in the Dark Ranger. Potion of Vulnerability, a decent item to protect your weaker second and third heroes. Hitman, in the meantime, getting the Orb of Lightning and a heal scroll. Pretty decent items for him, actually. Now, we sorely need a Tauren Chieftain level 3 here, I think, for Hitman to be able to stand a chance in any later fights.
Yeah, the map here isn't doing Hitman many favors because the bottom left went mostly to Happy. On many maps, the players can just split the map, one creeps one side, one creeps the other, but this map has axis symmetry, so the juiciest part normally is in the bottom, and the majority did go to Happy. So here, definitely the passive play can backfire on you on this map specifically as Orc, and now it's pretty much all the red camp, all about the red camp. Happy is gonna perhaps ignore it though and rather go for a push, and it's looking like a scary push indeed. 60 supply, ahead by 10. And there are reinforced defenses, but those might not be enough to hold off against this Underdog.
I don't know about you, Remo, but this is a pretty terrifying undead force approaching. Happy, of course, conserving all of the ghouls from the early game with such an amazing start that he had, able to pressure the Orc and having no threat of his own towards his own ghouls. And yeah, Hitman here, of course, needing to try and get the red spot, only rewarded with the Cloak of Flames, a decent item, but probably one that isn't going to secure him a victory in this upcoming fight. Hitman also only at 50 food right now. Happy, I think, yep, 60 food supply currently, not ready to break. Further than that, could morph even more destroyers, I think, perhaps as some ghouls go down, we might see the massive destroyers in the air. But yeah, we have a fight coming in. Right now, Blade immediately focus fired. Happy nicely coiling that first speed with the frost armor on, and look at the damage on these heroes, Remo. They are just melting under the pressure of the frenzy ghouls. Hex on the DK going down to try and prevent the TC going down. Nice heal wave just in time to prevent TC falling. And now I think it may be the Kodos in the menu next.
Blade Master has to dish out the damage that you have what it takes. There's one more stomp, but the TC falls. Can be revived level 2, perhaps won't take too long. Blade Master grabs at level 4. He needs a level 4 for the crit so bad. Shadowhunter has a bit more healing to use. Also the Mana Stone, by the way, still on the Blade. That definitely looks like a mistake. And Happy now cleaning up the rest. Get the Mana Potion as well, there's more coins available. Looks like Hitman has to go for a Desperate Blade Purge on the DK. Is that the lucky break he needs? Doesn't look like it's enough.
The Blade being dusted here once again. I think a coil might be flying very soon to decapitate the head of the Blade Master. It's pretty close. The Shadowhunter doing his best to heal up his compatriot there, the Blade. Getting level 4 in the Shadow as well. Pretty decent hero levels on the side of Hitman at this point, but Happy standing strong at 50 supply. And Hitman about to drop right back down to the depths of 32 foot, looking pretty grim for him. What I actually like this time from Happy is he kept the statues on the ground. We see the regeneration and mana regeneration being very important indeed. Hitman with a decent snipe there on the Fiend, but I think ultimately the gas is running low in Hitman's tank. And Happy here looking pretty strong in game 1.
Hitman some nice plays. If we go through those fights in detail, the hexes were actually outstanding.
True.
Really good hex play by Hitman, but Happy was just a bit too far ahead. The supply lead was immense. Or is it not over just yet? It's not about mana here as well, not just the supply. And the mana tank for Happy is running sort of low. Blade Master in trouble now. Heal wave is too late. He gets the opportunity to find the kill, and that is the carry out of the mix. And with that, it's hard to imagine how Hitman's going to have a chance. He definitely woke up here in the later stages of this game, but Happy is going to seal the deal here pretty soon. It looks like 4-4-3 heroes. Terrifying. This undead force.
Yeah, an insurmountable hero difference here, of course, as you said. The carry for Hitman going down here, sitting at 29 foot, only the Kodo trying to desperately run away with this Crypt Fiend here. Happy on the warpath, wanting to take down that Kodo. The Shadowhunter being exposed for a second, does have a heal wave to keep himself alive for a bit longer, but Happy, I think, is going to continue to chase. A coil is ready now, one swing of Frostmourne in the coil. Shadowhunter, oh, nice hex, but then the snipe from the Lich across the trees with that Frost Nova, securing that kill, and Hitman has no choice but to tap out.
Damn, imagine getting up at like 5:45 in the morning and you know, oh man, my opponent is Happy. It was a tough start into the series for Hitman, but I think it's fair to say that he improved throughout the game. Good steal in the mid game. The fight in his base was pretty nice indeed. And now Hitman is activated. Now we're gonna get the real game between the two.
Yeah, honestly, that Skelly last hit made such a big difference. That Ogre Magi not getting that one, giving it to Happy, losing the grunt, losing the tempo, losing the momentum. And Hitman was kind of close to holding if he had had a bit more damage on the Blade Master. And I feel like, I'm almost sad to say, but this matchup, I feel like nowadays revolves a lot around how strong is the Blade. What's his items? What's his levels? And he just wasn't quite there on map 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Blade not securing the best items in the early game did go to the marketplace, of course, and get the Claws, which of course is decent, but Claws only being Claws 4 these days doesn't exactly offer the most amount of DPS increase in the world. And yeah, Happy, of course, with amazing items on his own Lich, an absolute powerhouse, as he usually is in Happy's hands.
Next map is the first pick of Hitman, and it's a way bigger map. It's gonna be Concealed Hill. We can again stack a Blade Master quite nicely. I guess this map will revolve, as so many times about the rat spot in the middle. This Ogre Lord has proven to be very sturdy and very tricky, quite a survival artist when it comes to creeps. Happy has missed some surrounds there. And let's see if Hitman can exploit this. We're getting ready for map number 2. Will the semifinals both go 3-0? 3-0? There's a certain chance to that, but Hitman is clearly fighting.
Yeah, what I like to see from Hitman last game was, despite the incredibly rough start he had, he really did wake up in those later stages and basically microed it as well as he possibly could. As you said, Remo, those hexes were pretty outstanding, to be honest, preventing a lot of hero kills and unit losses at the very last second. But unfortunately for Hitman, just fighting from a far too disadvantageous position in this time. Hopefully he can have a more even game, and we'll see who can actually take the victory in the end.
All right, guys, I hope you're ready, because I certainly am. It is time for map number 2. Hitman down a map. Can he tie it up and force a new and fresh best of 3, or will it be Happy taking the series with 2-0? Have fun, guys.
Concealed Hill. A map that is rather long distance oftentimes, main base to main base, and especially expansion to expansion. But despite the size, has pretty few creeps, honestly. Not a very creep-dense map, and also, I would argue, pretty hard to reliably stack a blade. Whereas on maps like Last Refuge, there's 3 gloves camps on each side. Here it's only 1 camp right next to the front door. And if you start off with the ring here, I have seen plenty of games where the Blade Master just never gets the items, never gets the DPS needed. And like I said earlier, I feel like ORC nowadays relies so incredibly heavily on the Blade. If the Blade has a good game, if he gets the right items, it can be, you know, the Blade Master show, and the star can carry his team on his back. But I feel like it's not entirely reliable. So I hope for Hitman and for us that this time item luck is going to be on his side.
Demo Man with the great insights as always. I was currently just mesmerized by the early game peon micro in Hitman's base. Microing peons into the burrow to get them to drop off wood faster, and also using 2 lumber workers in order to secure the fast grunt fast shop opener, which is a pretty nice build. Kind of suggests that Hitman plans to move out on the map immediately, because you'll be able to sell the TP and pick up items. I wonder where he's going to go first. That is certainly interesting. Also a nice quick tech for him. You see the 190 wood lining up pretty much perfectly to start off the tech, and Happy, of course, will have quite a tech disadvantage himself, selling the TP as well. And going to go for perhaps the shop creep first. That would be an interesting opening route as well.
Yeah, if Happy had seen the Blade Master creeping a camp, he would have definitely gone for the shop first. But having seen the Blade Master not creeping, losing the Acolyte, knowing the Blade might be aggressive, Happy has to back up, can't go for the shop, can't rush level 2, and has to take the safer camp instead. I like this opening entry route much more by Hitman, excuse me. And also the build is really cool. You have the shop early, pick up the items right away, and you can move out on the map instantly. Great adjustment by the American. Would have loved to get the circlet, but no, Happy is always getting those nowadays.
I think what's especially nice about both players' adaptation is Hitman wants to posture more aggressively and prevent Happy from taking that early shot, which he sort of did by just his opening route, even though the players didn't directly clash. And Happy with his decision to go across and buy the circlet before even starting the creep. Oh my god, this moment here will be decisive.
Oh my god.
He must have low rolled. The turtle only had 64 HP, and the Blade Master was not able to finish it off despite the 40 bonus damage from the Windwalk. That's incredibly unlucky for him. That must be the lowest roll possible, pretty much, in order to not get that creep. Hitman, I think, would be pretty sad about that, but does get the Slippers of Agility for his troubles. Happy, though, moving towards the shop. I think he knows now that he can do this camp with impunity. The Skeleton is even checking the position of the Blade, sees he has 0 mana, and Happy about to get a massive experience lead here in the early game.
And by the way, the reason why he didn't get the creep was first, of course, because of Happy's strong play, but also because Happy stole the circlet. If the Blade has the circlet, he gets the camp easy. And it's just... thing is going a little bit against Hitman so far. This cost him so much mana, by the way. His ability to windwalk and harass and scout and steal assets is so greatly limited. Oh, steals that last hit, though. Slight slip up by Happy.
Actually, the Blade doesn't get the last hit there, unfortunately.
He didn't? Looked like he did.
No, he didn't get it. And now he's very, very close to being surrounded. Hitman not even pulling the speed scroll. He just casually saunters on out of what was a very close surround indeed. I think Hitman not giving, you know, much of an F anymore. Just wanting to be in Happy's space here to try and get as much value as he possibly can. But Happy saving that ghoul that was ensnared and getting level 3 already. What a joke right now. 73 experience on the Blade Master. This is looking unbelievably grim in the early game.
Dude, those little last hits here and there, map 1 and map 2, having such a huge ripple effect. It was a Skelly steal on the Magi on the first map, and here was the Coil steal earlier on the Turtle, completely shifting the momentum. And this is a level 3 DK early in the game with almost full mana. Terrifying position for Hitman again.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest experience difference I've ever seen in this matchup, Blade versus DK. Hitman is going to struggle incredibly hard here, I think, to even create the second hero as well, the Shadow Hunter, because Happy here with the illusions, able to see wherever that Shadow Hunter goes once he pops out. The level 2 coil, pretty much impossible to play around as it does 200 damage, of course, able to execute most creeps very easily. Hitman going for, I think, what is a desperation play, luring the Ogre Lord towards the tavern here and surrounding it. But Happy, will he be aware of this play? The illusion is coming around to scout Happy, of course, with amazing game sense. Will he steal it across the trees? God. Oh, Remo, he's going to steal it, isn't he?
He sure will. Oh, damn. Sick items for the Blade, though. I mean, he's struggling with levels, but he's got +8 agi already. That is very good. If at some point he can finally level up. DK's experience, 650 almost. He's gonna have a fast level 4 this game.
I'm just speechless right now, Remo. This is unbelievable play from Happy. The awareness is just nuts. His reaction in going for the circlet purchase to deny that from Hitman, preventing Hitman from stealing the shop, getting his own creeps, stealing back his own giant sea turtle that didn't go towards Hitman, and from that point onward, Happy just sailing off into the sunset with a massive experience lead. And of course, the Wand of Illusions helping him tremendously to secure that last hit in the Ogre Lord. Hitman with no choice but to carry on creeping with both heroes. Of course, we can't win a game as an Orc with a level 1 Blade Master, I'm afraid, Remo. But he can be happy with those items, of course. The Captain America mask suiting him perfectly.
+8, baby. Let's go. Hitman needs a bit of help from the gods.
Oh no.
Crystal Ball. Yikes.
And guess what Happy got?
Oh, +8. The Lich again. Starting off strong.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah. Perhaps this is the universe's punishment for Hitman. You know, it's like he had to get up early. You know, wasn't able to get up. You know, let's say on time for his match. Not really his fault, of course. The scheduling is pretty rough for him, and now just being punished by the game as well in terms of RNG. This is just absolutely brutal for him right now.
Yeah, Hitman getting a reality check. Many players have felt confident before, swaggered into a game before Happy was there, ready to punch them in the face.
Yeah, I could tell you, Remo, I've been punched in the face by Happy a few times.
Oh yeah, me too.
He is some opponent to go against, even in the cups where, you know, he's like, oh, I'm against some, you know, 2K nobody, it'll be an easy game. He still brings forth a strong match, no matter who he plays against, and he is brutal to play against.
Blade Master still doesn't have the highest levels, none of the Orc heroes do. He has 35 agi, which is pretty damn good. And it's going to be about the Blade Master again. It's going to be the Blade Master show later on. Happy's getting ready. He is fight ready already. The frenzy that's about to finish and a Dark Ranger to be picked up. Happy would love, again, to close this game out early and not allow Hitman to ever reach level 4 on any of his heroes. And Hitman this time, by the way, doesn't have a tower in the main base to hold off against the push, which we've seen plenty in the past, but not this time around.
Yeah, judging by Hitman's resources here, he doesn't even have the wood to build the tower and needs to prioritize getting that the second Quberte, actually, the Berserker upgrade as well. But there aren't even any troll headhunters on the field, so these Berserkers will be lagging behind severely. And Hitman now with 2-2-1 heroes against the 4-2-1 of Happy. I think this Rock Golem creep here can drop a pretty... the fight, over the Rock Golem here would be pretty decisive indeed. What item is going to be dropped? Hitman manages to get the last hit steal. But the Shadow, oh my god, the Shadow Hunter was coiled over, silenced in the blink of an eye. And he goes down instantly. I mean, cataclysmic stomp right there on top of all those ghouls with the TC. Oh, look at him. He's just going down in seconds against the Frenzy Ghouls. It's feeding time for the boys. And yeah, what could we do now? The Blade here is trying to get away. Coinova is also ready to go on him if needed. I think Hitman perhaps prepared to dodge that. Happy just killing the units right now while actually dodging the... Wait, no, actually the Koi went onto the Ghoul to keep it alive even longer. Just sick awareness by him and Happy. Unbelievably dominant in this map here.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yikes. Well.
You know, guys, Hitman is from the USA. That is, of course, the country of entertainment. And Hitman played the beginning of the series so that he can get a crazy hero comeback at the second half of the story. Right? He's down 2-0 now. The second map looked pretty grim. Happy styling a bit on him. But here is where it starts. And I said this the same way yesterday when Hitman was up against So, and I'm saying it the same way here now. It's starting. The reverse sweep is starting here on the next map.
Deja vu here for Hitman, going down 0-2 against Soen as well, of course, in his previous series. And now the comeback story. Will it be written in the annals of time? We'll see, guys, on map 3 on Northern Isles.
All right, before we go into this, thank you to 15 Sway for a €5 donation, boosting this almost up to 4,400. Be as cool as 15 Sway. We'll see him in the 2-2 grand final right after this series, which could be pretty quick, to be honest, if Hitman has another disastrous early game like this one. This series is over. And we will go into a 2-2 grand final. Happy with the match points and a great shot of winning yet another series with 3-0.
Yeah, Happy is just looking deadly today. Honestly, from the game so far, it seems like Happy versus Focus would be our deserving finalists. Unless Hitman can dig deep and find a way to break this menace that is Happy. So far, though, Happy's looking rather unbreakable, like Bruce Willis. I wonder who got that reference. Yeah. I am worried. I'm not going to mince words here. I am worried. I hope Hitman's confidence isn't shaken, because we don't see Hitman getting schooled like that often.
Yeah, precisely, Remo. I mean, Hitman here, of course, this is not his best showing, but we know him to be a strong player. And I think he'll be a little bit sad about how these first two maps have gone, but it's time to focus up and try to take game 3 off of Happy. The Chuck Norris, I would argue, of the scene.
Might be Roundhouse kicking his way into the grand final. Only one more map needed for Dahapa. I wonder if I don't even know what the necessarily correct play is. I think that's the difficulty also with Blade Master. It seems like there's not a clear-cut way and easy flowchart to play the Blade perfectly. It seems like you really have to go a lot with intuition and adjust to the flow of the game. Even if it looks so simple, just Blade, Grunt, Shadowhunter, on paper it looks so non-complicated, but in reality, there's so much nuance that goes into it. And we have seen players successful with it against Happy in the past. It was Focus recently and Lint Noah.
Oh my god, Happy gets the last hit again.
Oh my god.
Two games.
To be honest, that was also very unlucky with the damage roll, dude. It rains and pours.
couldn't have said it better myself. That pretty much summarizes how this series has been going for Hitman so far. Conceding the level 3 last hit here. Hitman only getting the 25 experience of the Acolyte for his troubles, and Happy opening with the greedier camp here, but of course knowing full well Hitman's position out of the map, getting the Circle of Nobility for his troubles, a pretty nice item indeed. And Hitman will be finding his level 2 here, but I think Happy might be coming right across for some aggression. Taking quite a lot of damage from the shop actually, but I don't think he cares. Buying the Circle of Nobility there for himself. 2 now already. Are we going to see yet another stacked Lich, Remo?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he gets another circlet. Another one purchased. Could even be from the marketplace. Yeah. Blade Master starting off with the ring, perhaps not what he wanted. Slippers and claws and all kinds of agility. That's what we need for the Blade. And I think I would like to see an adjustment of more passive creep play. Get the Blade to level 4 fast and pray to RNGesus, mate.
Pretty much, yeah. We need those slippers, as you said, and that is just what the Doctor ordered. The Blade Master here, with the slippers of agility, a pretty nice item for him indeed. Critting the critter, actually. Pretty funny to see. And yep, Hitman gonna go for the Tuskar creep right now, hoping to get the big heal potion or the potion of vulnerability. Happy in the meantime, setting down a sentry ward very defensively next to his own Tuskar camp to ensure perhaps the Blade doesn't come across and steal that away from him. Getting the Mantle of Intelligence from the small green camp here, Remo. This is shaping up to be a beastly Lich indeed. You add the Orb of Corruption and maybe 1 claw, and then you have the perfect Lich.
But the Blade is missing 7 points of experience for the level 3. And there's no convenient creep anywhere to easily get and just sneak it in. The level up. It would be so nice to have level 2 Windwalk early. Oh, the little punishes. The little punishes. Happy is just always there.
Yeah, I think Hitman here realizing that he has pretty much no choice and needs to get that level 3, trying to steal away the shop camp. If Happy is aware of this play, that would be pretty heads up indeed. He doesn't actually have any information out on the map. We're so used to seeing Happy use those skeletons to amazing effect, but just coming in here, anticipating that Hitman will be doing this camp, and Hitman, yep, taking the first call, whoa, using the speed scroll and the heal side, kind of playing around with Happy a little bit here. There is no dust on the side of Happy, so Hitman able to get out of dodge, but yeah, not able to secure any more creeps at that camp. It does get that crucial level 3 finally.
Thanks, Iluvatar, for speed scrolls. That was pretty dicey. With the dust, that Blade would have been dead. But seems like now he should survive. Oh, nice block. Shadows here. Now the Hex is ready. Alright, Bullet kind of dodged.
Yep, nicely done by Hitman there. The little blocks ensuring that that Grunt doesn't take any damage from the skeletons, and the DK unable to get in range for that last coil to execute him. Tier 3 underway for Happy right now. Hitman, of course, with a tech lead as expected, dropping both the Beastry and the Worm at the same time, as he so loves to do. I'm surprised we haven't seen the Hitman Wyvern in any of these maps so far, actually. I felt like he used to prioritize that a lot. A unit that is great for creeping and skirmishing in the very early stages of the mid-game here. And Happy hanging around, trying to get the last hit, and Rune Bracers, I think, an item that Hitman is very happy to see.
I think you should probably put that on the TC. Seems like the TC is the way more likely target to get nuked and killed. Gets level 2 on the Shadow. Okay, good recovery. It looked very dire right away with that Acolyte stealing the show early. But we're starting to get there. We're starting to see the levels. Blade's level 3, Shadow's level 2, creeping up more. And should be able to get level 3 Shadow as well before the push. Blade Master even an opportunity to steal something here. Doesn't get the item though. Oh my god, the Lich. What is going on with this Lich?
Unfortunately for Hitman here. Nicely done to get the steal, but a clause does go to the side of Happy, who once again has a super stacked Lich. But as you said, we have a more even game now. We have the Shadow Hunter a full level ahead of the Undead, and of course the other advantage for Hitman here is he is solo creeping that Shadow Hunter, or was mainly solo creeping this camp for the Shadow Hunter. And Happy, with only a level 1 Lich, I would like to see him give the entire lab here to the Lich, which would catapult him pretty much, I think, 2.5 roughly. This Tuskar and Fireball camp offering huge amounts of experience. Happy waiting for the tier 3 to finish to grab the orb. We'll see the Destroyer form and the Frenzy Ghouls being queued immediately, I imagine. On the other side, Hitman here getting the reinforced defenses, preparing for a push. No tower to be seen yet. The first Kodo coming out, and the Torrent Chief in third, of course, as well, making his way out the altar. Hitman needs to creep that bad boy for level 3 as soon as possible, but will he have the time? No way. And Circlet again for Happy from this creep camp. Happy just running away in item RNG in this game in particular.
Man is almost level 3 Shadowhunter. The push might be happening in a moment. Getting the natural creep would be a huge deal, but does Hitman have the time? We'll see about that, because Happy is fight ready in just a few seconds with Frenzy finishing. Unmeds always have the scary timing. He's right next to the tavern, could go for the Dark Ranger. Hitman needs to brace for impact.
Did you see the item that Happy just got from the marketplace, Remo?
Oh, Mana Stone, that's nice.
Yeah, just casually the best possible drop. Yeah, I'm surprised to see Happy not actually purchase the claws here as well. They're available in the marketplace. And Hitman here, I mean, what do you do with the situation? He needs to creep. Does get the Ogre Magi out there and Ring of Regeneration. Pretty nice item for him. But if Happy manages to land a crucial surround, potentially, but the speed scroll proving to be too strong for the Frenzy. Because the TC gets locked in. Does have the Stomp available. Yes, Stomp is very nicely used. Manages to start out with the Blade Master as well. Really nicely done, but another Konova will be off cooldown momentarily. The Kodo still with the speed scroll active. Does have a ghoul in its belly, but about to fall now to the shot of the Lich. Second Destroyer being morphed as well, and there is almost no anti-air available for Hitman right now. No tower, just the Orb of Lightning for the Blade Master, who's doing his best to chop down those Destroyers with the grunts falling like flies in the face of the ghouls. Happy to sacrifice those units away, and yeah, looks dicey for the Hit Boy once again.
There's no statues though. No regen on the ground. I think Hitman can hold here. DK, by the way, no TP. Perhaps a bit of danger for him as well, but he's got good items still. Silence on the Shadowhunter. Heal wave prevented. That grunt goes down. Supply is in Happy's favor, but with the backup of the shop and the burrows there, Hitman can hold on and survive a bit longer at the very least.
Hitman actually coming in here aggressively once again, seeing that Happy is pretty low mana on both the Lich and the Dark Ranger, trying to get more value here. The Shadowhunter full mana currently. I'd like to see perhaps the heal wave being used on the Blade, as there is a small chance that he might go down to the coil of the DK potentially with some focus fire. Hitman looking to get some more value out of this engagement.
Where's the purge? Oh, it was 5 hits without a purge. 6 hits.
Yeah. 30% chance.
Yeah, sometimes the orb is actually bugged and doesn't work. Nobody knows why. I'm not saying this is the case necessarily, but it has happened to Hitman before. I've seen the replays.
I mean, perhaps he might have got extraordinarily unlucky, but I thought there was some sort of entropy system that allowed you to have a guaranteed purge or crit or evasion check, you know, if it fails so many times in a row. But that is stuff I guess we can only speculate on. Purge finally coming out into the Obsidian statue. Usually the target of the Blade in these situations, hunting for the statue, which cannot, of course, be healed, but can be morphed. But I think that is something that Happy would not like to do. Of course, not preparing to take a big engagement here.
Tons of piercing damage in the Orc army, especially effective against the Destroyers. Less so against the heroes, but that's where the Blade Master is supposed to come in. He is almost level 4. This is when the Blade Master show can begin. Hitman also wants more levels in the TC. Wants that aura. He would love to have the level 2 Stomp as well. Here's the Stomp, securing the last hit. No, wait, did he get it?
Yeah,
he didn't get it. Like the Lich Sword, maybe? I'm not sure.
No, Hitman did actually get the last hit here, but now the Blade Master being focused immediately. The Rune Bracers pretty much saving his life right now. He'd be dead whether those Rune Bracers or the Info Potion nicely being used to dodge the coil from a long distance away. Happy here with 51 supply, looking quite strong. Hitman also at 51 food. Does he have enough anti-air to take care of the Destroyers, which are lacking mana? Actually, just going to go full hero focus right now is Happy onto the Blade Master of Hitman. I like that choice. The Kodo going down as well, and you see the Fiend focus fire on the Kodos just taking them out quickly as well. The Raider, unfortunately, getting caught a little bit in the front here, does go down to the last hit of the Lich, as we see so often. And now Hitman, I think, perhaps on the retreat here. Shadowhunter is completely bereft of mana, and Happy, of course, still has that Mana Stone Remo that he kept so patiently in his pocket up until this point.
Hitman also doing a good job of minimizing losses, at least. Of course, he's not going to get away unscathed. Certainly lost quite a bit, needs time to recover mana. Happy here has the advantage with a free regen from the statues and the Mana Stone that he has still been able to hold on to. And now finally also gets a dust. that perhaps a bit late. This adds another layer of complexity towards Hitman. Now has to be more concerned with the Blade Master.
Coilanova opening into that Raider right now. Raider dying pretty much immediately. There is no call available, however, for the Destroyer, which was being focused, but now the Wind Rider being webbed at the front and focused down immediately. Bat Rider actually rarely seen coming into play to finish off the Destroyer, but I don't think that matters too much for Happy right now. He's sitting there comfortable 50 foot. The Purge of the Orb of Lightning goes on to the second Destroyer of Happy, which is being targeted by the Blade. The rest of the Orcish army just attacking on a click there, not getting too much damage done. And Hitman once again, knowing he is out of mana, needs to use a speed scroll to go back home and recharge his batteries once again. The Kodo Beast would be a sore loss on the way out, unfortunately. Goes down there with the last few shots, as Happy so often secures with his army.
Happy's getting the better exchange here, the better trades. Behind this push, I feel like Happy could have perhaps even expanded with so much distraction going on. Well, if not for the resources, though. He's actually very low
Really
number, having only one ghoul on lumber, which means he can have a very efficient 50 supply army, by the way.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Normally we have at least 3 ghouls on lumber, of course, and now with just the one remaining, barely enough. He is slashing those trees with as much force as possible to bring enough wood just to keep up Happy's army costs there. Happy finding the peons here, which is actually pretty crucial because as much as they don't offer great experience, it adds a few more skeletons to the army of Happy. And now Hitman here, having to run away again, does secure the Medallion of Courage for the TC, a great item indeed. Hitman actually looking quite strong in terms of items. The Shadowhunter, though, with absolutely nothing on him. And earlier on, Happy did, in fact, buy the Claws and the Ring of Superiority for the Dark Ranger, but now Silence going down on the TC. Kodo being immediately Nova coiled, goes down extremely fast. TC forced to move away, the Silence still not wearing off. Clarity running the entire time on Hitman. Shadowhunter very nicely done indeed. Now the Blade is the target of the focus fire, securing the Fiend kill. Nicely done. TC, nice stomp again. Another Fiend potentially going down. Nice job by Hitman getting the crit there. And the coil just whips into the air.
On the way home, gonna lose more though. One Berserk goes down, and that's the second. Rest of the army might get away. Lich, fortunately for Hitman, doesn't have mana anymore. One more heat wave. Time to re-engage. And indeed, there's only one heat wave left against what is one coil at the moment. The Mana Stone was finally forced earlier. Hitman, though, he's starting to have the levels. 4-3-3. This is where the Orc starts to feel comfortable. But now Hitman is lacking in army, and also in mana, and health, I guess.
Yeah, Hitman here playing, I think, as well as humanly possible, despite enduring catastrophe in the early stages of the game as well. Having fantastic hero levels at his disposal. Happy on the other hand, not too much mana at his disposal, only one Nova and a couple coils. Can the Blade Master of Hitman here reign supreme? Another coil whiffs into the air, Remo Demo, 2 in a row now. We have 4 statues on the floor. What are they doing right now? Blade being target fired again. No, it goes down to the coil. I'm not sure if the heal wave was off cooldown or not, but now, what can Hitman do? His main DPS is lost. The Kodos pitifully trying to snack those Fiends without a speed scroll or lockdown to keep them in place. Not providing much use there, I'm afraid. The TC still standing quite strong in the front bit. Once again, the Shadowhunter out of mana and Happy regenerating his army up nicely. Lands a coil finally on his own unit. To be honest, Happy losing a few units here, but the Skeleton Snowball might be starting here for the Dark Ranger, who just unlocked level 2 Skellies.
Lich level 4, now we got Dark Ritual, more mana for the Lich, more nukes, more complication. 16 supply, deficit for Hitman. It's Tavern Resing, the Blade Master. Does the rest of the army really get away? Seems like it shouldn't. Kodo perhaps might be getting caught, but no, the Lich is lacking behind. Hitman still under pressure. Stressful game for him. Getting kind of cornered here at the gold mine.
Yeah, Hitman backed into a corner here. Coilanova goes onto the Blade Master once again, who just dies immediately back, and the GG is called, I'm afraid. Hitman going down against Happy 3-0.
Whew, man. Hitman fighting so hard at what is 7 a.m. for him. Wasn't enough, maybe a bit too early. Closer than Rara Land, for sure, despite the time zones. Respect to Hitman for showing up and getting better and better within the series, but he was up against the behemoth of the scene, and then it just wasn't enough. Great showcase yesterday for Hitman, eliminating Soin and Starbuck back to back, but Happy is a whole different beast, and we're gonna get Focus versus Happy, the rematch of season 6 or 7.
Certainly. We'll see if the shape holds for both. Happy has been looking really convincing, and so has Focus, especially the semifinal by the Korean Orc earlier was very impressive. Happy with an easier task than perhaps we were hoping for. Hitman at times played really well, but also had some big errors in his play, especially in the early game. Can't allow to slip. Focus just had a little reminder. You need to start strong in these games against Happy, which are to come later after our 2v2.